I recently left my role in executive level management to be a stay-at-home mom. And that feels like a huge transition. And it is. I went from managing 100 people to 2. I went from overseeing millions in monthly revenue to nothing. And I went from working set hours to like all of the hours. But what I found is a lot of the skills that helped me to succeed in executive level management, now I'm bringing into motherhood, and they're helping me find some success here too. So today I'm going to cover 3 executive level management strategies that I brought from the business world to the home and how I've integrated them into my daily life as a stay-at-home mom. Hang around till the end. There's a bonus tip that I use every single day that I really think is a game changer. The first tool that was just paramount in the corporate world is organization. And when you work for a big company, they provide a lot of that structure for you. It's things like SOPs, it's things like your procedures manual, your handbook, your code of conduct. All of these things are very defined, and then that's what allows an organization to grow and scale and succeed. And in the home, there is no structure. And so for me, that felt very untethering coming from my background. But I have decided to create the structure that I wanted to see in my home and build that for myself in a way that's going to work for my family. I'll give you a brief overview of my structure, but what I love is that you can just be intentional about creating whatever works for you, and you have full freedom and reign to do that and make it work for your family. For us, I looked at structure and organization in a few key areas. It's the have to do's, it's the want to do's, and it's the stuff. And so for the have to do's, things like chores, laundry, etc., I broke that down into a routine that I follow. It's on my calendar like a meeting for work, so that way it's gonna get done. And I never feel behind or never am wondering, oh gosh, when was the last time I washed our sheets? I mean, man, I don't remember what I ate for breakfast, much less that. So it's all laid out for me. I don't have to think about it. I just get it done. It's broken out kind of evenly per day so that it never feels too overwhelming. And I'm gonna do a separate video fully breaking that down so that you can kind of copy and paste my schedule if it would work for you. So the second is the want to do's. And I feel like without the structure in place, initially I was falling into one of 2 issues. Either I would plan nothing for the day, and then midday rolls around and we're all going stir crazy and we're understimulated and just kind of like struggling to get that energy out. The second option was I overplan a day and then we're exhausted and the baby's overtired, we miss naps, you know that trap as well. So what I've decided to do is I plan one fun out of the house activity per day. If you know me, you know I'm wanting to spend as little money as possible. So I do this completely on a budget, and most of our activities are completely free. But there's one thing that we are going to have on the schedule that we're going to do every day out of the house. And I, again, have whole other videos on how to come up with these free activities and create a whole month of activities for your family for no cost. And then it comes to the stuff and like the physical organization of the home. You may know we're going all year without shopping. So clearly we're not bringing anything new into the house. Like being in this house all day, I just couldn't have it overstuffed with things and stuff. So that's one item. For the kids' toys though, when you're home with them most of the time, it can become just a toy chaos environment, and I don't thrive in that, and I don't think my kids thrive in that either. But I'm going to be doing a whole other video just on exactly how my system works. But the highlights that I'll give you here is that we have small pockets of toys. One pocket comes out, no more pockets are accessed until that pocket is put away. So there's just a limited amount of toy chaos that can occur at any given moment. The next executive level management strategy that I brought into motherhood is goal setting, and KPIs is what we would call it in the business world. But basically what I found is if we did not clearly set deliverables, goals, KPIs that we were needing to achieve, one of 2 things would happen. Either we would be hitting those goals, but we didn't realize we're hitting those goals, so we don't celebrate them and kind of memorialize that moment. So we lose the progress, we lose the momentum, we get burnt out. Or the other pitfall that I'd find in business is we never set the goal. We're not performing well, we're not hitting any of the goals that weren't set, but we don't know we're not performing well, and so we can't improve. And both are bad. It's kind of the same in motherhood. You know, there's a lot of opportunity being a stay-at-home mom to feel like you are failing. There's a lot of opportunity to feel like a lot of what we're doing is going unnoticed or undefined or uncelebrated. And I think it can cause the exact same issues that it did in the business world. I sat down with my husband and we talked about what are the goals that we want to achieve. And we kind of defined out like short-term and long-term goals. For us specifically, our short-term goals include maintaining some sort of order in the household, creating fun and engaging moments for the children, and then saving just a little bit of time for me, for my hobbies and my passions. And then for our long-term goals, the way that we defined it, it's about preparing our children for life. It's about teaching them to be good members of society, and we kind of can go into that a little bit further, but then also to just make sure that they feel at the end of the day loved and supported. And so with these goals in mind, it's a little bit grounding. It's like, okay, maybe we had to bring my son home in his diaper today because he had 3 blowout diapers, at the park. That can feel like a failure, but really, if I cross-check that against the goals, we're doing just fine. So it kind of keeps things in perspective and helps me realign when I do feel like we are getting off track a little bit. All right, the last portion that I wanted to share, I think in business goes overlooked quite a bit, and that is feedback. In business, feedback comes kind of top down. Often you get feedback from your leaders, you get feedback from your managers, you have performance evaluations, all of these things. In the mom world, we probably get that feedback. We get feedback from other moms, from social media, from, our husbands, whatever it may be. But the feedback that I think goes missed quite a bit in business, but is very useful and then can also be applied in motherhood, is the feedback that comes upwards. In the household, that's getting feedback from the kids. And listen, I am not a type of mom that wants the kids to run the household and let them make all the decisions, not even in the slightest. But they can have very valuable insights that are kind of game changers. So what I try to do is when we have a tough moment, maybe my daughter had a temper tantrum or whatever it may be, then later, once tensions have settled, I like to circle back with her and ask her, hey, seems like you were feeling upset. Can you tell me why? Do you remember why? What made you feel that way? Oh, okay. And what could have made it easier? And just talk through those things. A lot of times it's not super helpful, or maybe she doesn't even know or understand these feelings herself, and that's totally fine. But sometimes there's little gems that come out that are really big light bulb moments. An example I'll give, there was a period where my 2-year-old just stopped napping, and we were all exhausted. And I tried all these different things. I was adjusting her nap time. I was, adjusting up the nap time routine, all of this stuff. Nothing was working. She was not napping. Finally, I just said, well, let me ask her. So I asked her, I said, why are you not napping? You used to nap. Why not now? And she said, nap mat. And light bulb, she used to at daycare have a nap mat that she would sleep on. She doesn't use it at home. So we pulled it out, laid it out for nap time, slept like a baby. And it was just seemed so simple, but I don't think I ever would have thought of that on my own. And now time for my bonus tip. And this is something that I use most days. And I really feel like it sets me up for success and starts the day off on the right foot. So when I was a working mom, I had to get up before my kids. I had to get my makeup on, I had to do my hair, I had to get dressed. And really coming into the stay-at-home mom world, I didn't have to do that stuff anymore. So initially I didn't. And I would wake up to their cries basically every single morning. And that started off my day on like a stressful negative foot. And then I felt behind because now getting myself ready took like 18 times longer while watching them as well. And sometimes that's just the way the day goes, and that's okay. But wherever feasible, I still operate as though stay-at-home momming is my job, because it is. And I get up before them, I do my makeup, I do my hair, I get my coffee, I get dressed. Bonus points if I even can get breakfast in the car packed. Usually not, that's okay. But if I can have just a little bit of time to start my day off on that foot, then when they wake up, the energy is totally different, and that carries into the whole day. So that is one of my major tips. We're not wearing the heels and blazers anymore, but we're still going to work. And for me, it's helpful to get ready for my day in that same mentality. Being a stay-at-home mom, it's running a business. It's just a different kind. Thank you for joining me to listen how I incorporate these executive management strategies on a daily basis and how you can too. I'm always looking to share any specific, tangible tips and tricks that I can through my shorts and my long form videos. So if you're interested in this type of content, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.